So I've just finished watching the very first episode of HORIMIYA, as I've been waiting for this story to be anime adapted for quite a long time. But before I continue, I would like to remind you that this video contains spoilers to the manga, as I'll be discussing and comparing the manga's first 3 chapters, which is equivalent to the first episode. For those of you who do not know anything about it, HORIMIYA is a slice of life show centered around 2 main characters, Izumi Miyamura and Kyoko Hori. One is a total, weird, brooding and otaku looking character, while the other is popular and admired by many in the school. One day, these two meet outside of school unexpectedly, since they both look and behave in ways none would expect. Since then, they become friends while sharing their personal lives with each other. The first episode was a positive surprise for me, as I finally got to see one of my personal favorite slice of life stories being anime adapted, but I guess you already know that. Why is it my personal favorite, you may ask? Well, without revealing what happens after, the main reason is the way of interaction between these 2 main characters. They both have a personal side of their lives they were never expected to share, and due to a certain chain of events, they are forced to reveal it to each other. I really enjoyed Hori's reaction to the contrast in appearances from Miyamura at school and outside of school. It is also to remind us how strict the dressing etiquette can be in Japan's schools, which is true. Many schools demand for students to have a school uniform, and many trends that we may see in most Western countries are kind of forbidden in Japanese schools, like dyeing your hair or having your hair dressed in a particular way, and so Miyamura is forced to have a different hairstyle in school to hide his piercings and also to hide his tattoos, which is a shock to Hori, since she has never seen this side of him before. Not only Miyamura's appearance is a surprise to her, but she also gets to know more about him, as she realizes he's not that weird as he seems to be at school. I mean, okay, he is still socially awkward sometimes, but hey, at least he likes manga, and he does not like that most stuff, you know, like statues or anything of sort. I mean, look, I have figures at home and I'm not socially awkward, okay? I know how to maintain a conversation without being a freak. I also never got obsessed with most stuff because they are just statues. Anyways, on the other hand, Hori has her own secret too. She must take care of her younger brother and do most of the housework, as her parents are away most of the time, which makes it hard for her to have any sort of social life outside of school. These 2 sides to them are kept between them, and this level of intimate relationship with funny and interesting interactions between them is for me one of the main things that keeps me so attached to the story and to these characters. I'll not be giving you a summary of HORIMIYA's first episode, presumably because you already watched it, but the episode 1 is pretty much the adaptation of the manga's first 3 chapters, although, like I mentioned before, there are a few things the anime did leave behind, and by that, I mean an entire chapter. It is nothing important, but there are a few things that I believe it would be interesting to mention, and this is when I ask you to kindly skip to this timestamp if you do not wish to be spoiled. Ready? Here we go. The second chapter is mainly about Miyamura and Hori, but also about her younger brother. But if I could, I would add the part where Hori thinks about Miyamura, and also the whole scene about him giving her a present, since the anime just randomly throws at the viewer the sense of relationship progression between them, giving you small bits of interaction while they are at Hori's house, but without mentioning some of their inner monologues. In this case, Hori thinking about Miyamura, which clearly entails she's starting to like him. She's starting to develop some feelings for him, and when he gives her the display ring as well, which for me is a very cute and wholesome scene, and also an important step to their relationship. Of course, the anime decided to focus on the comedic scenes a bit more, which is also important in this anime. It's about romance, true, but it has also a lot of comedic scenes. I think you as a viewer could testify that with the wacky and comedic art style that was being introduced left and right in the first episode. Other than that, I believe this episode was very faithful, consistent, and it kind of meets my expectations. The art style, pretty much like in the manga, is simple and yet sharp, which I really enjoy. I really like the voice acting. I think it fits really well with the characters themselves, and I really enjoy the comedic scenes. Of course, towards the end of the episode, Hori came back from dating Hishikawa, and as expected, she was only caring for what Miyamura had said to his schoolmate, about him and Hori not fitting well, which totally upsetted her as she obviously likes him. That is something one can expect in this type of stories, even though I'm kind of tired to see that girls need to be straightforward with their feelings, despite the fact that here Miyamura didn't get it, okay? I mean, I understand that girls should be more straightforward and also learn to take the first step, in real life. But in anime or in manga stories, you often see the opposite, and I wish Miyamura would get that a little bit quicker. But that's just my take, but tell me what you think in the comments below. Overall, I really enjoyed the first episode, and depending on how well the anime does, we might see a continuation to the series, since there's only 13 episodes. I highly doubt that the whole story of HORIMIYA is being anime adapted into 13 episodes, because there's at the moment, due to the amount of chapters in the manga have been translated into English, so if the anime is successful, in which I believe it will be, we may see a second season, but this is all just early speculations, okay? I simply can't wait to see some of the scenes being animated, as the story is, for me, very special. And that will be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, stay tuned for this week's anime news, and as per usual, don't forget to watch your daily dose of anime, because it's good for your brain and heart. Take care, and I'll see all my beloved weebs in the next video.